Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Allison Cruz, and I'd like to welcome you to the last of the Secrets of the Maw DLC, The Residence, here in Little Nightmares. It appears as though we found ourselves in quite a sticky situation, considering we saw that motherly geisha figure kind of appear out of nowhere, much as she would later in the game, I'm assuming, to be the overall antagonist of the series. But man, it's a little creepy that we're already here, and the fact that it didn't really take us that long is pretty telling. But I am a big fan of this proponent of the DLC, and I do think it ties things together nicely with the end of the game without going too far. So let's continue going on here, see if we can use some gnomes for good effect, or find ourselves in a study of sorts. The fireplace is still dimly lit, but this place is a grotesque nightmare. There is a door that we can head to over here, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. That's going to come later. For now, let's go through very carefully here, because this area is very dark. After a certain point, I'm going to crank up the brightness as much as I possibly can, because, well, it'll turn into a life or death situation, and death by way of not being able to see anything because the game is so dark. Not a big fan of those deaths. But if we head over here, check it out. It's a little light. Another little study. I really like this place, actually. A little hallway that leads to just this little book reading area. I don't know, it's cute. Anyways, this is our first bottle. And let's see the message that it holds within. Cool. Concept art for later. I'll take it. So, pretty hard fall. Not sure how I feel about this door, though. Not a fan of it. So once we head over here, we're going to be very careful, because there's a moderate amount of death to be found in this particular stage. The first of which is our first look at the geisha. And you want to be very careful that she does not hear you. Whatever you do, do not lock eyes with her, because you're going to be sorry. But once we head into this more central open area, well, we've reached a hub of sorts, because this is going to be another situation, much like the furnace room, where we're going to need to bring back some artifacts to help us unlock a door that will allow us to go on our merry way. And these puzzles are actually kind of fun. Little gnome, are you going to help me? He's not going to help me, but he is going to tell me this is where we're going to take all of the artifacts that we so desire. So let's get started by grabbing the first one that we can. And this puzzle, in my opinion, is probably the most difficult. It's not difficult in the traditional sense that it doesn't make sense. It's just, it takes a while to get where you need to go. And I have only been able to solve it the one time. But I do know how it works. So let's see if this goes a little bit easier, as Ori is going to start running and doing things. I gave the cats food so that they could be quiet. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's Wednesday. And they need to not be making so much damn racket. Also disturbing the immersion, because I know I'm going to get scared by just the cats themselves. But we just went ahead and turned on one of these. And we have two mechanics here that can change where the lights are being shown. We have a button, and we also have a lever. And depending on how many times you press the button, it'll change the direction that things are facing. So you kind of more or less need to play around with that. But we're going to push this 3 times so that every single of the lights is facing up. And the main thing that we need to do throughout all of this is point 4 beams of light into eyes, because, well, they're not a huge fan of the light. And if we can get all of them closed at the same time, it'll open the door. And that's always nice. Now that we've pressed that 3 times, we're going to want to push this over here. And that did nothing. Alright, well, let's go push this a couple of times. There is 1, 2, and I think we might just want to do this 5 times in total. And we'll see where that leads us. Because we need to get them, they're all on the ceiling, so they all need to be going up anyways. So we're in the general area, so let's go ahead and pull this, as I just dropped my controller, back down. There's 1, there's 2. Let's go push this one more time. There we go. All open. Which means now the door is unlocked. And we can continue onwards. So that's the first part of the puzzle solved, but now, oh, it's so dark. It's so dark and creepy. Look at these. Just, man, talk about a bit of narcissism. Yeah, not a fan of this. So this giant wall of paintings looks fun to look at, right? Even if just slightly, moderately, kind of creepy. Alright, good to know. But the room of our next puzzle lies in here. And this one's kind of annoying too, but it's not too bad. We have another door here, but it appears to lack pupils. So we're going to go ahead and press a couple of different switches here. Each button will correspond with a portrait, and you need to make sure you get the right one. So starting us off, I think I want to do this one. There we go. Whoop, that didn't do it. That just turned off my light. Thank you. Alright, now that that is lit, we have this woman here who has breast face? Testa cheeks? I don't know. But we'll give her a nice little time in the sun. And, you know, this baby looks kind of creepy. Let's go and give him a little bit of time in the sun as well. And last for this wall. This guy kind of looks like Peter Pettigrew. So we'll get him. And last but not least, I do believe we want Mr. Fedora Man. Because there's another child there. He doesn't need any time in the sun. It's this sexy beast. And with that, we've opened the door. Which means this is the fun part. We found ourselves a geisha doll. And this is actually one of the artifacts that we need to take with us all the way back to that room that gnome left us in. However, be prepared because you grab it and it's not going to be that easy. Okay, so before you leave this area, don't be a dummy like me and forget to grab this. I actually had to come back here in the middle of doing something else later in the episode, and that is the fact that we need to go over here and not screw up and get caught. That would be fantastic, because there's actually a bit of a secret here for us. A couple of statues that appear to really worship this apple here. So yeah, keep that in mind, that that's a thing, and that this game is not ripping off of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And grab your second bottle. We now have that, and in the future, I will run back to this and have it, and hopefully not be confused while editing this entire series together. So that would not be fun. And I'll meet you guys back. We have another eye encounter, and this one only goes in 2 directions, so be really careful, because you don't have a lot of time to act. So we need to start heading backwards, and so I'm going to hide over here and kind of abuse the new toy we just got. Toss it at the, there we go, the button, and get back here. Oh, okay. So I was about ready to die there. That's not cool. And back through the door, and we're fine. We're just jumping on the counter, so it's making me nervous. And now this is where it gets a little unnerving. Ooh, the sound. It's trying to make your way through this, and I'm not trying to be a martyr or anything, so let's just go ahead and pump up the volume just a little bit. There we go. Because, well, as little of a difference it makes, and as kind of washed out as the game is going to start to look, we're going to thank ourselves later. Oh, that's not good. You can get lost in this room forever just because you have no way of lighting up anything while carrying something, but we're back in here, and the rest of the DLC will have a reason for us to have this brightness all the way up. So I'm sorry if that's a little bothersome, but it's just one of those things, man. Alright, so we did it. Life is good, and we'll go ahead and bring it to this rightmost room. So why the hell not? Whew. Yeah, the brightness in this game really isn't doing this game any favors. So this is a room that we need to progress through eventually, and you'll notice there's actually a bit of a spot to place things on these 3 tiles. So we're going to place this one right there. And if you put the right one on it, it'll rise up. Which means we need 2 more of those things, which, you know, obviously can only mean that life is going to be grand, and we're going to be able to get through it without any problems. right? Yeah. Maybe let's not keep thinking that in the future and just kind of head over here. I think this is where we need to go. Let's take a look. We're going to have to do a bit of backtracking through this area, but hopefully it's not going to turn out too bad. Uh-oh. That didn't sound promising. So let's go and move this ladder over here. I'm glad we're not making enough noise to alert old lady Geisha. And let's go jump on it. And we've got ourselves a bit of a Kingdom Hearts puzzle here because we've got to find a couple of books and put them back where they need to go. Librarian, the kid is thy name. So the first one, someone was a dick and left it all the way up here. It must have been the janitor. We'll go and drop it. Okay, good. I was low-key under the impression it was going to just stay on there because the book physics are very weird. Last time I dropped it, it just kind of fell as if no gravity was applied. Dude, you need to learn how to climb down ladders, my man. It's not good for your health. So this is the first one we want to grab. So I'm going to take it and put it where it obviously needs to go. And that would be right here. If you did it correctly, you'll hear little clicks and you'll be fine. Second book is actually right here in the middle of the room. I do believe it goes here. It's kind of hard to tell with the colors and how just drab and washed out they are, but it makes sense. Last one's a little oblique because it's right over here, and I think, is this it? There is one other book we need to take later for the special achievement. Like the other two installments in the Secrets of the Maw, we only have 3 achievements worth 200 points. It's a little absurd, but let's go over here and just place that right there. And with that, for whatever reason, it's funny that the scrapes on the floor indicate that it would open inwards into this room and not the other way. But you know what? Video game logic. Well, what's it worth, man? Okay. So now that we're in here, I hope I didn't forget a bottle, but let's go up here and take our new Geisha friend. But this one looks a little unusual. Maybe like it's not quite real. Who knows? Let's go and take it and see if we can do things for our better benefit. And run back over here before I get too tired. Eventually, this is going to get a little bit more hectic. You guys will see what I mean by that soon, but... Oh, let's go down over here, and actually, there's one other room I want to go into. Uh-oh. Why is that happening? Ugh, I don't remember that. We have the real Geisha statue here, but there is an eye there, and as per our history with those things, maybe we should Indiana Jones the shit out of this. So you right there. Take this. No, no. I would like to maybe... Uh-oh. Wait, wait. That was weird. I just kind of flung that out of the way. Also, there's a minor spoiler there that I saw just kind of pop out. We'll be coming back here soon enough. But this is the true Geisha, and we need to take it back to its pedestal and not destroy it. That would not be good for our sanity, as it were. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the DLC so far. Like I mentioned, the puzzles in this and figuring them out for the first time were pretty fun. And I just liked it a lot better than, you know, doing a bunch of fetch quests with gnomes and things like that. This is just kind of a cute way to kind of change things up a little bit. So anyways, the second that we put this on here, that is when shit is going to begin to hit the fan because, well, yeah, Geisha-related power outages are my favorite in these creepy, haunting mansions. So, uh-oh. We have a new type of enemy. We are going straight up Alan Wake in this shit. Or I guess maybe even, what's the other one that we kill people with lights? Interesting. It might also be hinting for things in the future. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, nick that one in the bud. And just in case, there's another one up here. They're pretty easy to see, but I'm just going to light this up just for my own safety. Because those things do not like the lights. And we're going to see what that's like in just a moment. it is not fun. Alright, so the second we enter this room, we're actually going to be introduced to a brand new concept, and that is the ability to actually aim our flashlight in combat situations, because that's right, we're about to fight some shadows. And this is why you want the brightness all the way up. So the second he starts hunching over, we can aim. And I was already kind of on the impression that I was going to aim anyway. This is the room where the geisha was earlier. We go up here and we see him just kind of standing there. Kill him with the lights and do not let the darkness get the best of you. Oh, hi. You were right there. When fighting multiple of these guys, it gets a little tricky because they run away and they basically will lunge at you in the darkness. It's a little nerve-wracking. Hope you can tell. Okay, so now that all of this is done, we can start heading backwards without any sort of repercussions. So first things first, I didn't make note of it, but there's a key here that she just so kindly left for us. Thanks so much. And we're actually going to be doing our first miscellaneous achievement, which is, uh-oh, making noise. As far as I know, I don't believe that the shadow friends can come in here. Except, oh my god, and he's running left. I can see that. Oh god. This game is inherently dark, and it's really annoying to deal with in these sections, but this is probably the worst offender. Hence the extremely bright lights just everywhere. Okay, now, I'm gonna go and set you right here, because in case you didn't notice, there's a locked door here. But before we move on, there's one thing I'd like to take care of. Because, well, I just wanted to get rid of that key business first. We need to go back to that book room. Some might call the room with the vestige of books a library, but we'll just call it what it is. Whatever. I can't even think of the quote right now because I'm a little on edge. Whew. Okay. So make sure you don't take the wrong book. It's kind of easy to tell because there's a symbol on it, just so that you know you can make them fit easy. But we're going to take this, and we're not going to have to worry about any encounters until we go back to that room we just unlocked, so that's really nice. My name is Allison Cruz, and thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey through Little Nightmares. I'm so sad that this is the end of the DLC and the entirety of this story, but that's alright. I've actually already recorded everything else, so this is literally my last sit down for the game. And, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. I've been able to play all of these sessions in the dead of night, so that's not even the door. So it's been really enjoyable to kind of play it like this. Please don't kill me.